We live. This is BBC Sussex.
Now, environmentalists very unhappy about plans to drill for oil underneath the South Downs National Park. The company behind the Gatwick Gusher, do you remember that? UK Oil and Gas. They've applied for planning permission to test drill for oil at Markham's Wood at Stoughton near Chichester, and campaigners say it will damage a pristine area. They're also concerned about the use of acid to dissolve rock. Well, last night the Parish Council held an emergency general meeting, an extraordinary meeting about the plans. Andrew Elms from the council is there. Hello, Andrew. Good morning. Good morning. And we've also got Steve Sanderson, who's the chairman and chief executive of UK Oil and Gas, on the line as well. Hello, Stephen.
Good morning.
Okay, Andrew, what was discussed last night? Many concerns?
Yes, it was a very well-attended meeting, actually, by about 10% of all the parishioners. Obviously, there were many concerns ranging from light pollution, noise, but the most important thing, I think, was they had serious concerns regarding this development in a major water catchment area and its aquifers. And the risk of pollution to groundwater by this operation, I think, can't be ruled out, especially as they wanting to recycle polluted water back into the ground afterwards, which does sound a bit crazy.
Stephen, what about that? The chance of some contamination of the water supply?
I think, let me just say that I think there's been quite a bit of misinformation, and unfortunately people are a little frightened, I think. I'd like to say that this is definitely nothing to do with fracking. It's not shale oil or shale gas. It's actually conventional oil and gas drilling, which is really exactly the same as has happened at this site in 2010 and to 2012. It's exactly the same as the Horndean and the Singleton fields, both to the west and to the east. The well that we're planning to go in was already drilled and is already what they call cased off with steel casing, which is concreted into the ground through the chalk aquifer. So there was no incidents with that or any of the other wells in the south of England that go through the subsurface. So I think for the first well, the fears about contaminating the chalk aquifer are very unfounded.
Have you done any work to make sure that wouldn't happen?
Yes, well, the well is, of course, future wells, which would, of course, need to be drilled through the chalk, are subject to permitting by the Environment Agency, and drilling through those, you have to use a specific type of drilling mud, which doesn't pollute the aquifer, and then it's immediately cased off with steel tubing and concrete, so that essentially isolates the well from the chalk.
Right. Why does it have to be in such a beautiful area, though, Stephen?
Well, because you have to drill where the oil is, and the oil field is situated underneath the Markwells field area in the copse situated to the north of Forest Side. So.
And will there be anything in it for the villagers? I mean, what sort of I shouldn't have said bribe. No, it's not. You know what I mean? Is there anything for the village in this?
Yeah, I think we've made a commitment that we'll actually give a royalty from production to the local area, and I think that will go into a trust, and it will be up to a representative sort of committee from the local area to consult with the trust as to how it's spent.
Okay, Stephen, thank you. Yes, I'm going to come back to you,
yes,
Andrew.
A couple of questions there. I mean, first of all, I don't think you are recycling at the moment currently the polluted water back into the ground.
No,
you're also you've got another further 3 drill holes to make a total of 4. And you aren't currently at the moment acidifying the ground, which I think is fairly untried and novel technology in chalk.
No. We don't use any acid at all in the chalk. The chalk is just drilled through. The wells we're doing are a mile under the ground. The chalk only goes down to about 1,000 feet below the surface, so it's completely isolated. It's the same as any well that's been drilled in this whole area from Hampshire through to East Sussex. So the acidizing is only in the reservoir. It's basically a standard practice that's been used pretty much in every well that's ever drilled on the planet.
But if there aren't concerns, Stephen, surely it's up to UK Oil and Gas to get down to West Sussex and talk to people.
No, well, we had a public consultation in July where we had over 100 people come in and we were able to explain what's going on. The feedback and the survey from that was essentially very positive. We've also proposed to the local community for a liaison group, and we'd be delighted to come along and actually explain to the parish council exactly what we're doing, what it is and what it's not.
All right, well, we're going to leave it there for the time being, and sorry we run out of time, but Andrew, Stephen, thank you very much indeed, and there you are, the latest on oil in Sussex, 10 to 8.